Porter's five forces analysis is a strategic analysis tool which concentrates on five different factors which can determine success or failure of an organization. Porter identified five different forces. According to him, these five forces are instrumental in determining success or failure of an organization. The five forces are competitive rivalry, threat of substitutes, buyer power, supplier power, and barriers to entry. Porter says that competitive rivalry plays a very important role in determining success of an enterprise. If there is going to be tough competition, the business is not going to flourish in such circumstances, because tough competition can be very difficult for small businesses and for newly established businesses to survive. Even for businesses which have been there in the market for a longer period of time, they are going to find it difficult to survive in circumstances in which there are a lot of competitors. Reason being that competitors are going to force a business to reduce the prices. They are also going to prompt the business to improve its quality, and they will be forced to improve their overall marketing mix. That is product, price, promotion, and place. All these aspects, they need to be improved in order to survive in a competitive environment. So tough competition is a factor which can result in failure of an organization. Threat of substitutes is a unique factor which was identified by Porter. According to him, it's not about competitors only, it's about the substitutes also, which can pose a threat to the existence of an organization. Now, for example, when we are talking about tea is going to have its competitors which are producing only tea. But when we are talking about coffee makers as well, the businesses which are manufacturing coffee can have a significant effect on the existence of a tea manufacturer as well. Similarly, when we are talking about laptops and desktops, so laptop producers are going to be affected by desktop producers as well. And furthermore, these smartphones, they also have started acting as substitutes of laptops and desktops, and in that way they are affecting existence or success of different enterprises in that way. Porter said that buyer power plays a significant role in determining success of an enterprise. If there are a lot of buyers, then the business is not dependent on one or two buyers for its sales. That is why the business is going to flourish in such an environment. On the other hand, if a business is dependent on limited number of buyers, then its existence is going to become questionable. Its dependence on one or two businesses is going to be very high, and that is where most of the problems for businesses are going to be created. If a lot of customers are being targeted, if there are a lot of potential customers, then the business is going to produce a particular quality which is going to be acceptable to most of them. On the other hand, if there are limited number of customers, then they can force the business to produce a particular quality in a particular cost, and in that way success of a business and profitability of a business can be affected in a negative way. Supplier power is another force identified by Porter. Porter said that suppliers can influence success of an enterprise. Now, if suppliers are going to be friendly, if suppliers are going to be large in numbers, then there are a lot of opportunities for business to change or substitute the suppliers. On the other hand, if suppliers have some kind of monopoly in the market, then the business is going to be forced to buy from them at higher prices, and quality may be compromised in such circumstances. So supplier power is a significant factor which can determine success of an enterprise. Barriers to entry is the fifth force which was identified by Porter. He said that if there are a lot of barriers to entry, then the existing businesses are going to be highly successful. On the other hand, if there are very little or no barriers for entry, that means that the competition is going to increase significantly with the passage of time. So barriers to entry play a significant role in determining that whether the profitability of a business is going to be high. Existing businesses are going to flourish a lot. They are going to take benefit from high levels of barriers of entry. On the other hand, new businesses, newly started businesses, if there are a lot of barriers to entry, they are going to find it difficult to enter the market first of all, and then to survive in the market, because the conditions in the market are going to be difficult to begin with. So we can conclude by saying that Porter's five forces analysis identifies various external forces which can determine success of an enterprise. It talks about buyer power and supplier power. It also takes into account concepts of competitive rivalry and threat of substitutes, and it also talks about barriers to entry. All these five forces, according to him, play a significant role in determining success of an enterprise, and they can affect success of an enterprise in isolation of each other or in combination of each other.